What's up, people of YouTube? I'm Karstowski, and welcome back to the Karstowski Bowling YouTube channel. So in today's PBA Bowling Breakdown, we have the 1983 PBA Greater Detroit Open. So let's get on to the title match. We have the 1983 PBA Greater Detroit Open featuring Brian Voss up first. Gets a strike that goes high, trip out the 4-pin. And then we have Pete McCordick, one of the handful of players who has bowled a perfect game on television. And this is when he still had the mustache too. Pete McCordick holds his ball right about hip level. Has a pretty decent backswing. Nice follow through. That hand at the top that's kind of curved kind of reminds me a little bit of Ethan Fiore, if you notice his hand when he releases the ball. It's kind of up like this when he's in his finish position, and also the balance arm kind of looks fairly even as well. That cup wrist to the start of his finish position. That hand gets to the side. That is the classic way of hooking a ball. The going up behind the ball really didn't become a heavily used thing until really about the late 90s to early 2000s, when a lot of bowlers really started to implement that into their game. And then a lot of the players who would go at the side of the ball to release it, like a handshake motion, would kind of be phased out over time. And that is a perfect shot from Voss. So both players start off with a double. Brian Voss, you know, his game for the most part, but also he pretty much looks the same here, even as he has over the last few years, I guess. He was probably mid to late 20s at this time. And even at 60s, he still looks like a really good bowler. And that is a turkey for Voss. So his game has changed a little bit over his career. His game looks much more fluid in the 90s and early 2000s than it does here, but as most players, there's usually some aspects in their game that change over time, especially as they age, and this time the equipment changes soon would change like they never have before, going from urethane to reactive resin, and even before this, from plastic to urethane. So these two players have adjusted to 3 different bowling ball types in their careers. That shot went way high for McCordick. So as far as bowlers go, this is Pete McCordick, and I used to bowl sweepers in the Cincinnati area with someone named McCormick. Can't remember his first name, but McCordick and McCormick. McCormick is a little bit more familiar to me because obviously someone who I bowled with, but it's also like a brand name as well. So very interesting names, and they're both bowlers. All right. Pete McCordick has never won a PBA title. In fact, none of these players have ever won a title. So we will have a first-time titleist at the conclusion of this title match. And McCordick just gets that ball way wide. I think he got distracted by something, or he just may not have liked that shot. There's really only about 2 ways to make this. Get the ball right in between the 5 and the 4, and hopefully the 4 takes out the 7, or go to the very right of the 5, and hopefully that his ball can get the 5 into the 4 and 7. And McCordick does not do either of those things. for an open frame. Well, Voss is looking pretty good right now in his game. He's hit the pocket every shot. He's went high once. Looks like he goes off balance a little bit and gets that ball a little bit too far wide. But he has a pretty good break, only leaving the 8 behind. I think Brian Voss has wore that same red polo shirt his entire career. As far as I'm aware of, he's never really had a whole lot of sponsors on his shirts. But you know what? A lot of times you don't have to have all those sponsors all over you. And really, for any player who doesn't have a ton of rev rate and who doesn't have a whole lot of mechanics going on in their game, Brian Voss is one of the blueprints for a really solid game. And even at this time, early on in his career, he had a lot of good mechanics going on, and especially throughout the 90s when he was at his peak. Anybody can take inspiration from Brian Voss and see a lot of fruit coming their way if they practice at it, because Brian Voss's game, I think, is one of the more flawless games amongst PBA bowlers before the 2000s. Pete McCordick doesn't have too much of a push away. He kind of drops it and then gets it into his backswing, goes just behind his head, and has that nice follow through. He's got a pretty good finish position. Nice knee bend, arm right at the right side of his face. Yeah, that's a kind of finish position that you want to see. That balance arm outstretched, nice, about even with his trail leg. So he's had a pretty good amount of top 5 finishes this year, but this will be his best finish of this year, and he gets his ball to the right again, this time leaving the bucket. He tripped out the bucket the last time, with the exception of leaving the 7 behind. Oh, my goodness. Leaves the 5 pin behind, and now Brian Voss is in cruise control at this point. Voss pretty much just needs to fill frames. He doesn't have to strike every time. He just needs to get 9 spare strike here and there. Well, I spoke too soon. Okay. The 3, 6, 7, 10. That is actually a pretty common spare for any player. It seems no matter what type of lane play that you choose, you leave that split all the time. And that actually was not too bad of an attempt at that. If that was just about a single board to the left, that could have clipped the 3 pin enough to send it to the 7. But I think the 3, 6, 10 combination is one of those spare combinations that you should try to practice more than any other spares except for like the corner pins, because you're going to be leaving that combination a whole bunch. Voss missed that left, and he leaves yet another split. And it is the 3, 9, 10. If he would have left the 6 pin in the mix, that actually would have been slightly an easier spare, because the idea is to pretty much about throw it straight in between the 3 and 6, and hopefully the ball carries the 9 and the 10. Yeah, without that 6 pin, he probably would have kicked out the 9. The best way to go that one is to go hard and straight at it and get the ball to the left of the 3 and 9, and hopefully that one or both pins take out the 10. And now, Pete McCordick is still in this game. Perfect shot. He is back in this game. I pretty much counted him out before Voss had those 2 opens. But it's bowling and anything could happen. Now, Pete McCordick is down by 12. If he strikes on this next shot, he'll only be down by 2. So he finished second last year. He's been close quite a few times. Oh, that's left. Oh, he's fortunate to take out the 7. 3, 6, 10. Let's see if he can convert this. He didn't like it as soon as he let go of it. It's pretty good. That's textbook right there. And that clipped enough of the 3 pin to where I think it would have been good enough to get the 7 pin. Okay, Voss still has a fairly good lead. He gets that one wide again. What's he got to do to make sure that his ball does not go too far to the right? He doesn't take very much time for his spares. Good thing he didn't chop that one. That is a very choppable spare. We still have a 12-pin match going into the 9th and 10th frames. Oh, he got that one right again. Oh my goodness. And now the door is wide open for McCordick. McCordick now, if Voss misses this spare, McCordick can get strike in the 9th, 2 in the 10th, and good count to shut out Voss. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was not a very good count. He went for it, he missed left. That was not a very good miss. And now McCordick's up 5. Well, he'll need 3 to get him the win. And Voss knows that he should not have... that he had bad count. Oh, McCordick was on tour for 11 years at this point. Man, I didn't know he was on tour since early 70s. Gosh. Yeah, both players have missed their equipment to the right this entire match. No player has been locked in this entire time. Well, he missed the bucket before. Let's see if he can make it this time. That's a much better attempt. Oh my goodness. It hooked a little bit too much. Yeah, he basically threw that same shot last time. And he almost chopped it again. Well, now he's up by 1 pin, so the situation is he needs all 3 in the 10th to shut out Voss by 1. If he gets a double in 9, then Voss can go up in the 10th frame and get all 3 to tie. Oh, come on now. Again. Man, that's like probably the 5th time that McCordick has missed his ball right. And with the equipment at that point in time, you didn't have a whole lot of miss area. So you had to be really accurate. Because your bowling ball just doesn't come back. Nice cover. Okay, we'll get some good count in the 10th frame. Voss isn't very... Voss has pretty much lost his reaction ever since after getting that opening turkey. So Voss isn't feeling too comfortable on the lanes either. So count is important here because that still requires Voss to get at least 20 pins to win. That basically forces him to get a double at this point. And he missed left that time. He gets 9. Now that is actually a very good 9 because he could have easily gotten 7 off that shot. Let's see what Voss can do in the 10th frame. Perfect. Absolute labeled that ball. Now can he do it again? Taking some extra time using that rosin. Man, gosh, I think it's probably been about 10 years since I've used rosin. And I'm not sure I ever will either, especially with me not using my thumb. Oh, that went high. Oh my goodness. What a terrible break. He could have at least gotten away with a 4-pin. Okay, well, he has to make it to win. Yeah, if he would have gotten 9 on that shot and a spare, that would have been a winner. Wow. Look at that. Huh. Well, what do you know? Tied at 176. Goodness. And each of them both had 4 strikes in the single game. Dadgum. Okay, well. Now, actually, Voss had 5 strikes, but an extra open frame is what cost him from getting any extra pins. So McCordick goes first, with him being the higher seed. Oh, he missed left again. I mean, right again. Man, that's probably number 6 that he's missed left. He has missed left so many times. And by the way, this is a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. It's not a single frame roll-off and you're done, like it used to be in the past. And I mean, it even still is like that to this day. I think they mostly use the 9th and 10th frame roll-off for stuff like the tour finals and the playoffs, and they use the 1 frame roll-off, the 1 ball roll-off. Oh, he got robbed. He should have gotten that. Yeah, but I think they use the 1 ball roll-off now for like most standard events. I think the playoffs and the tour finals are kind of anomalies and they just don't use the 1 ball rule for that. Get there, that's way wide also. That's just enough to get all 10 down. Okay. Well, you know what? At this point, another strike and good count will just about seal the deal. Strike and a spare would just about shut McCordick out. All right, let's see what Voss can do. Another 3-6-10. He had missed this earlier with the 7 added to it. Can he pick up the 3-6-10? Because if he misses this, then McCordick can step up in the 10th and win this. Perfect. Now that right there, I think, would have knocked out the 7 pin. Okay, a little bit of loft it looks like, and okay, ring 10. That little extra loft might have been what caused his ball to not carry the corner. Okay. Let's see what McCordick can do. He has missed the ball to the right the entire time in this match. So can he prevent himself from doing that again, where it matters most? No, he can't. That might have been about the worst miss, and he did that at a really bad time. Ugh. Oh boy. Well, that is Brian Voss's first PBA Tour title, and it came with a roll-off. I don't remember the last time that a player has won their first title from a roll-off. Now, Brian Voss will go on to win 24 more titles in his career for a total of 25 in his Hall of Fame career. And he's pretty much more than solidified himself into the top 20 greatest bowlers of all time. So that is Brian Voss's first PBA Tour title. And if you all would like to see any more videos just like this, then be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any videos. I'm Karsatowski. Keep watching my content, and I'll see you in that next video. See ya!